Okay, so I am on the right internet, I hope.
This one's in.
Okay. So I think we're going to have to leave the Facebook right where it's at.
It looks good.
Okay.
You're not very much in. There we go.
I feel like I'm okay on both of them.
Okay.
You talk just for a second. I forgot my Dr. Pepper. You want anything? We're just getting home. We're just getting home.
It has been a crazy, crazy fun Sunday morning. Unexpected to an extent. We
Unexpected my ass.
well, okay, like we knew Pearl was getting ready to have a baby, but we didn't expect to pull up today, I don't think. At least I
The
didn't.
heck we didn't.
I didn't. I thought I would. Okay, so I said, I bet she's gonna have that baby, but deep down, I thought this not yet. There hasn't been a pressure change. I didn't think about any of those things were really gonna happen until we had.
So I was
change.
wrong on that one point. Okay, Lester was wrong. I'm not always right, but I kept saying that she probably will not drop that calf until we get a pressure change. And if lo and behold, we didn't show up this morning, and guess what? There's a freshly born calf. So fresh that there was still all of the afterbirth and placenta all spread around. Pearl had not even had a chance to clean anything up yet. So we got to be a part of that, which was really neat.
Yeah.
And so we were excited about that part. I wish I could have been there to see it born. You guys know how much that's been a part of me wanting to see that happen, especially because it was the first baby born at Longhorn Lester's. The first Longhorn, especially born at Longhorn Lester's. And she's a female, a little girl. And so we named her Jolene. And we named her that because Jami has had that song stuck in her head for the longest time. And I said, you know what? That's one song that you can sing that I really enjoy. I like a lot of Jami's songs, but I don't know them all. But I know this one. And so now I catch myself walking around singing it. So I'm like, you know what? When that baby's born, if it's a female, it's going to be Jolene. And so sure enough, Jolene it is. And so we're so blessed. There's a lot of things going on, though, that I'll let Jami tell you a little bit about. A lot of stuff threw us for a loop this morning. We did not expect. Well, you know, I'm just going to play some music. So here's what you would expect in a moment like pulling up, and there's the Longhorn family, and amongst them is a newborn, sweet little girl.
Better than Titanic.
Should I stop? I think you get the point. That's the moment that we thought we would capture. But instead, the moment that we actually captured was more of something like, Jami said it best, Kid Rock. Go ahead.
It was like bang with the bang, the bang, the bang. Like the craziness is I am kid. It was like
I am kid. Yeah.
It was like that. That was the theme song to today.
No, you're not going to get why. You got to tell them why it was like that, Jami. Why was it like that? What happened that made it so Kid Rockish?
Y'all remember that one time when Ivy stole Imogene's baby? Well, we got round 2 of that, except for it's in the cow world.
Now, the good news is we have videos to back all of this up.
It was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, we weren't live, and we would have went live, but we don't get a signal from Longhorn Lester's to go live. We have to be right there. We have copper, the old copper line internet. And so there's no strength to stretch out over there. So if we're right there in the shop, we can go live. Done it a couple of times. But when we're anywhere else, forget about it.
It just doesn't, it would leave so many gaps for y'all if we went live that it wasn't worth it.
It's not fair.
It was better to capture the moment.
So we both recorded really great video. Your phone's still going off crazy.
It's a camera saying we're here.
So the thing is, Jami's right. We got there when it was just Pearl and the baby, and all the other cows are off doing their thing. And baby was still on the ground. She hadn't even gotten up yet. And so we were able to witness her first wobbly steps, and Pearl sitting there cleaning her off.
Oh, it was a powerful moment.
I'm embarrassed to say who the first one over was. Santoro. Santoro, the little 2-month-old bull calf, was the first one to walk over, want to see what's going on. And in typical bull fashion, he began to push the calf around. And Santana, in essence, began to push Santoro away. And then here comes you know who out of nowhere. Santana come charging down through there. I'm over there trying to get down low to make a video. Jamie's behind me trying to get a video. And here comes Mama Santana running right through us all. We thought to get Santoro away and give Pearl some privacy with her newborn. Nope. What? Go ahead. You can talk.
No, it was just it was one thing after another, and it just kept. Anyway, there's a video coming out, and I don't want to give it all away. There's videos coming out.
No, I don't mind. This is a moment to talk about because Santana was trying to take that baby away from Pearl.
She was straight up baby thief.
I don't mind telling you that. Yeah, we got it all on video, and I can't wait for y'all to see it.
There was so much. Okay, if we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna talk about it. There was so much in those moments, though, of like looking back and trying to analyze it and stuff. But like in the moment, we're trying to like not let it happen. But later on, looking back, I'm wondering, does she think that she's the only one around here who can have a baby?
Yeah.
And then Pearl, poor subservient Pearl, is like trying to follow what her mom says, and it's just like, I guess it is yours. I guess it really didn't come out of me. Okay, I know it feels like I should do it.
If you want it, I'll just stay here and watch. And no, Santana was doing that whole doing, you know how they do their horns back and forth. You know that game that y'all think Jake taught them? That's not a game Jake taught them. That's what a Longhorn does. Is they boom, 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 boom. When they want you to clear out, they go boom, 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 boom.
It's kind of like ping pong.
No, it's like a boxer. Choo, choo,
or that.
Choo, 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 choo. But a Longhorn goes left, right, left, right. And that is a way to clear out everything out of their way. And so Santana starts trying to clear Pearl out of her way. And Pearl backs up and Santana begins to take over that calf. And so what we had to do was something that we never expected. But like I said, that's Kid Rock music right there. That's hardcore party music. And so it was not as peaceful of a moment as what we were hoping. The serenity was gone. And it started with Santoro and it ended up dragging into Santana, and it was a mess.
It was a fiasco.
But to make a long story short, we'll shorten it down a little bit since we only have a little time here. But to make a long story short, there's a very healthy calf,
yes,
a female little heifer.
She's beautiful.
By the name of Jolene, who looks a whole lot like Pearl with her daddy's markings.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's. I think I call it look like fawn markings, but the reverse, like brown speckles on a white.
Yeah, brown speckles on a white calf. So that's really neat. We also, you want to play your little video of the bull? No. Jamie doesn't want to play anything right now. Jamie wants to keep it all for videos, and that's fine.
I just don't think I'll be able to show it accurately, and I just think that I would.
We'll do it an injustice. Okay, well that's fine then. We will compose all of these videos and get them out as soon as possible. But here's always the downfall. Here's what's going to happen. Every time we have something exciting that happens, those videos end up, we change the schedule and we drop those down to play immediately because we want you to know as soon as possible. But then in a couple of days, a video will play that still shows a bag report. We interrupt this program to bring you a bag report.
Lester loves to share the now.
I do.
So, you know, in a different world, we would line it all up and you would know about it whenever it fell in line with the storyline. But Lester,
we call that Facebook time versus real time, or social media time versus real time, because they're not the same. They're not the same. But it takes time to get your videos edited, uploaded, scheduled. And so it's really hard. So anything that you see on the internet, guys, you're probably not seeing it real time.
Unless you're seeing it live.
Unless you're seeing it live. And so if it's live, like right now, then you're seeing it in real time. But everything else is usually delayed by a day, a two, a week. And so what's going to happen is if we play these videos of Santana, of Pearl with her baby, Jolene, and then we're going to come back in a couple of days with a video. We're going to see Pearl still has a bag, and I'm doing a bag report.
We'll get it worked out.
It's going to be a lot of confused people. That's why we appreciate you guys helping out a little bit, letting those commenters know it's just a little bit out of order because Lester was too excited. He could not wait. He could not wait.
There's a lot going on, though. I mean, a lot. outside of, that surprise today, we have Annabelle here, and that relationship with Moo has just been amazing. We have goat stuff going on. We have vet stuff going on. I don't know what else we have going on. It feels like a list of like 50 things. I know those are on my top, though.
I will just say it's a lot of good, bad, and ugly, because I can tell you this: the vet's coming out on Wednesday, and I'm already preparing myself for the scolding that I'm going to take. You know how when you were in school, or when your dad was going to spank you when you got home, you always went and patted your pants real good. You'd put on a couple of pair of undies, some blue jean shorts, something, get some nice thick padding in there. So Lester's going to start padding up pretty soon. I'm going to start padding up. They don't make phone books anymore, because if they were, I'd be putting me a phone book back there. I'm going to take a lashing from our sweet vet, because I always do. I've taken a lashing from you guys for a little while now, and you've been right on a lot of things. Sometimes I'm right on, but the goats are a little bit out of shape, and that's all because of me, and I take full responsibility. Jamie's grabbing my leg, trying to pull me back in. What is that, a video that I'm giving away?
No, I wanted you to stop squeaking your chair.
Oh, I'm squeaking my chair.
Yeah.
Is someone saying that?
I'm saying it, and I know they're thinking
Lester's chair is squeaking. I'm going to change out my stool.
Whoa. Now, mind you, Lester and I have the same stool, but I don't have the squeakiness.
I have anxiety.
I think this one's going to squeak too.
Nope. Look.
So far.
No squeak.
Okay.
So yes, it was brought to our attention recently that we're probably giving our goats too much grain. And I've always tried to counterbalance that argument with the fact that they're getting extra grains because they're lacking in, foliage, things that they need. Some of the roughage that a goat would prefer to be getting, they're not able to get, because all we have is grasses. We don't have, any shrubs or plants or other things that, leaves that goats prefer and that need in their diet. And so I've tried to counterbalance all of that with extra grains, not realizing that too much grains is similar to a human that consumes too much sugar. Yep. Or too much fatty foods, and it can have an effect on you. And whereas I saw a bunch of roly-poly fat little goats, you guys beginning to call out other things that could be of concern. And I did take it upon myself to look up some of the things that you were sending me, and I appreciate that. And I said this in the video, I really admire the fact that folks are able to criticize in a constructive way.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it, because that's what true family and community is all about. Because it's one thing to sit there and say, man, you're an idiot. You don't know jack about what you're doing. How dare you? Because most of us, we turn that off real fast. Who's going to sit there and take that kind of a beat down and say, you know what, you're probably right. Let me go ahead and look into. Instead, we react differently and very defensively. But from the number of folks who sent messages and comments about, look, hey, Lester, check into this. Lester, you might want to be aware of this. That I really took that differently, and it made me go on my own and do a lot of researching, asking a lot of questions, going to my person over here, and realizing that we have, in fact, gotten our goats to a pretty unhealthy state. Now, we're going to have to address that in different ways, and that will all come up in the near future. Our vet's coming on Wednesday, and we've had to do some homework, some things that she asked us to do ahead of time. Jami had to collect some specimen. I'll just say some specimen to send in. So we've had to send in some specimen.
Yeah, that's probably the highlight of my farm life, is chasing poop.
Yeah, chasing poop. Could you call your video that, where you're out collecting specimen? Because you have to know which goat it comes from.
That's the worst part, is I couldn't just go to the pasture and be like,
there's some poop, I'll take that.
There you go. No.
Yeah, you had to find out, you had to know which goat it was coming from. So we've had some specimens sent in, and we're going to address all of that in the very near future.
We've already started to take action on some of the suggestions, which would have been the first line to do anyway. But we want the vet to come out, check, in addition to the cultures that are being done, and just to be sure that we're capturing all of it just in case it's beyond what it appears to be. So some extra layers of just in case happening there, because yeah, it's like I said this, you said this, but it's like all of a sudden you like feel like you're doing okay and you're in denial about how you look, and then you go to put on a dress and it doesn't zip the same way, or your pants don't zip, or you see yourself in a video or a picture and it's
That's
not
what gets me.
the way that you looked that
Yeah.
morning in the mirror. You're like, you saw yourself in the mirror and you're like, this fits nice actually. It actually fits better that it's a little snug. And then you see yourself in a video and you're like, I look
Whoa,
like stuffed sausage.
No, why'd you let me wear that? Why didn't you tell me? Why did you let me go like that? And I'm like, I didn't realize, baby. I didn't realize. This is kind of a dumb story, but a lot of times for a man, you realize that on a belt, you have, 10 different holes. And sometimes you realize, wait a minute, why am I putting the belt in a different hole than I normally put it on? And that could either be a good thing or a bad thing. If the belt is expanding, then your pants may zip, because men don't have the behinds that women have. So we don't really get the whole hips and the whole booty thing that women get. But we can see it in our guts. And all of a sudden, that's your belt goes around your gut. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, why am I having to go to a, less, so to extend my belt? So we find it the same way that you guys do, but it's the reaction's the same. It can creep up on you.
It does.
It can creep up on you. You don't realize it until sometime.
But it does with your animals too. So I'll make a call out. The last time we took Trixie and Maggie to the vet
that
a
was
few
funny.
months ago.
That's funny because that was caught on video too.
Lester was like, yeah, Trixie just looks underweight to me and there must be something wrong. When in reality, it was Maggie who had put on the weight.
Yeah. The vet called me out right after. He goes, your problem's not Trixie. The problem is Maggie. She's very overweight. And I'm like, what? Because to me, Maggie looked great, man. Maggie looked good. But Trixie just looked skinny.
It's like love goggles, Like I feel like I don't even see things in my partner whenever, and he'll be like, why didn't you tell me? Because I really didn't see it. I didn't see it that way. He looked handsome to me. The color looked good. It looked like, but I just think that the things that you love and the things that you see every day, it's much harder to see until it's to a point where you're like, oh, wait.
Brenda on Facebook says her husband can actually go and add more holes onto his belt, which would be a good thing because you're losing weight. She goes, but unfortunately, I run out of belt.
I don't wear one. I'm not doing it.
Brenda just goes the opposite. It goes both ways. You can see sometimes where your belt will begin to kind of crease where you normally will fold it. What's the word, Jamie? Where you stick it?
Well, where it
connects.
Yeah, where it connects.
Y'all get it. Anyway, no, the goats kind of creeped up on us, and I will take responsibility for that. We have a lot of us that do the chores around here. There are days when Jake feeds, days when I feed, days when LE comes and feeds, days that Jamie feeds, when we all have different schedules. And sometimes we may have double fed or whatever. And of course, your goats are going to say, excuse me, we've had too much of this. But they have gone on a bit of a diet. We actually had to cut them back to 1/4 of the grain they were getting before. Now, not to worry, we've still been separating the pigs, trying to let Annie and Ernie eat with the pigs so that they get plenty of grains because they're fine. It's just the goats that have a little bit of an addiction.
An addiction is an understatement because we have captured some of the craziest things. I think it was on your live last night where Roxy was willing to strangle herself to eat some mealworms that happened to look like grain. I mean, it was like
I had fed the ostriches, and they get their own diet. And Roxy was so desperate for something besides just grass and healthy choices that she was trying to stretch her little neck in to get some leftover ostrich food, and she looked ridiculous. But that was caught in a video on a Facebook Live yesterday.
It was like getting your hand stuck in the cookie jar. It was like that moment for her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The ostriches are all doing great. Everyone knows that we have already done the gender reveals to all 3 babies. We did those on a Facebook Live as well. And we did have 2 males and 1 female. The 2 males were the firstborn, which is Pat, Tattletale, P-Pat, and the third born, which is Charlie. And the little middle one, which is the yellow banded ostrich, is Sue. She's a female. So Sue does have a home picked out. She will be going to Oklahoma to be a part of the Arms family and will be a protector to all of their littles in their pastures. And the two males will be staying with us. One will become a partner to Tina, who will be over at Longhorn Lester's, along with Carl and Debbie. They'll have two different pastures where we have a pair and a pair. They'll be side by side.
I'd imagine that would be probably Pat because he's bigger.
Did I say Pat?
No, you just said one of them. I'm speculating. We hadn't even talked about it yet. I'm just saying, like,
I've actually mentioned it in a few videos, but yeah. So Pat will be paired up with Tina, and then Charlie, who's the smaller of the males, wears the green band, will stay here and be a partner to Wanda. And now he'll be a couple of years younger than Wanda, so we're hoping that she'll always kind of rule the roost, and for a while anyway. Let's hope that works out well for them. And so we're excited about keeping the two males. We're worried if there were three, we wouldn't know what we're going to do because nobody wants a male. And we'll also say that we're done having babies.
No more babies.
We will pick up those eggs and we'll gather them before anyone can get broody. So we have no intention of hatching more ostrich eggs. That's not in our.
Do you want to know something funny? I didn't even tell you this yet either.
What?
That the other day, Bennett was here helping out.
Yeah.
And he was like, the ostrich egg I had pulled out of the pasture, and he was like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I said, "I'll probably drain it, send it to my mom to do crafts with." He's like, "But what are you gonna do with it? Like the insides?" I'm like, "I don't know. Feed it to the pigs, cook it."
What did he want to do?
He wanted to eat it, so I let him take it. So I haven't heard how that went yet, but I was like, "Yes, you can."
You all know that we tried an ostrich egg and we didn't care for it.
No,
it wasn't our thing. We prefer duck eggs. Those are our favorite
in a situation where there was, not so many choices and that you could eat it, it just wasn't like.
Well, a lot of people at the gym where Jami goes, they wanted the eggs. Yes. They were asking for it because they're so healthy. The ostrich eggs are like ostrich meat, just a very lean, healthy choice. But that's not our thing. We're not going to have the eggs to. I mean, I don't. Whoever wants them can have them. Yeah. We're not going to sell them.
No.
We just, if we have people like at her gym or down the road, or if Ben wants an egg, then by all means, here you go. It'll feed a family of 6. So whatever you're going to do with it,
it's a lot of eggs.
You'll have a lot left over.
But I have scrambled up a few to give to the pigs, and then that's what I've been doing with some of the eggs that I've been collecting habitually so that we don't have any more feathered friends around here for a long time.
Diana, you might want to watch your mouth. I'm kidding. She's like saying, I can't stand Dr. Pepper. That's yucky.
There's a lot of people that I think it's like a love or hate. I don't think that there's a
Dr. Pepper's amazing. It is my one and only addiction. And why are you making that face for? I mean, I like a lot of stuff.
I was like,
no, there's a difference. I like a lot of stuff, but as far as something that I need or my body just begins to have withdrawals, it's only the sugar from Dr. Pepper. Nothing else does it for me. Coke and Zero.
I would actually say that second. You want me to guess what second in line though to that?
Careful, this is a family channel, Jami. This is a family channel.
I was gonna say milk. You weirdo.
Yeah, I do like milk. And those are the two things that my doctor told me to cut back on. But that was last summer. This summer, I'm doing much better. Think of it. That was a whole year ago.
I know.
That was almost a year ago that I went to the doctor because I was just tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to you guys at all. I woke up one day and I was just tired of being sick and tired. And after doing some blood work and finding some stuff out, it was found out that I had some of the too much of the bad cholesterol. Is it cholesterol?
Mm-hmm.
And too little of the good cholesterol.
Yes.
I also had a little bit of an issue with my, what do you call that?
Thyroid?
My thyroid. That's here, right?
Yes.
Okay. I had some issues with my thyroid and I was just having some issues. I was overweight by about 10 or 12 pounds. Okay. Maybe closer to 20, but who's counting anyway? And of course my testosterone was off, but all of that has been addressed. And the orders that I left there with, I remember I left there in quite the funk because I had to cut back on the milk cut back on the Dr. Peppers, cut back on all, the red meats. And I've done everything I was told to do. I cut back on the milk. I used to drink milk every day. I love whole milk. I love whole milk. 2% doesn't do it for me. Skim milk doesn't do it for me. Don't even say almond milk, because that sure didn't do it for me. But I just like a cold glass of milk, and I would drink a couple of glasses a day. So I've cut that out of my diet, except for just an occasional cheat day here and there. And a Dr. Pepper, I do have one a day. And so I'm proud of myself for that. And I've been back to the doctor several times. I go once a month now, and I'm not having to do anything anymore. There's no pills that I'm taking besides the anxiety pill for when needed, only if I need it. And then we'll do I take the testosterone pellets also when needed, but that's like every 6 months. So
you're in pretty good shape now.
I'm in great shape. You know what? Listen, I'll tell you a funny story. I didn't
mean physical shape. I meant like well-being shape.
Hold on, but this is a funny story because this is a funny story. This is a true story, and no one believes this. So because of my height and my weight, there's a
BMI?
No. There's your ideal weight based on your height and your weight. Yeah. And I forgot what that number was, but it was a lot lower than what I actually weigh. And so I've been told this not by one doctor, but every time I was in high school getting a physical, when I would go for my bus driving physicals, even though there's an ideal body weight based on your height, your height. Mm-hmm. People don't account for your body build a lot. They forget that your body build. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I do have a muscular build. It is defined as a muscular build. And so a guy who's 6'2", that weighs 215 pounds might be a little bit overweight if you look at your height and what you should weigh, because it should be like 195. Think about it. But
but some of that,
when I drop down to 200 pounds, I look like I'm sick. Yeah. I look sick because my body is built. It's built different. I don't want to say red beans and rice body.
The whole average thing is so ridiculous because just like you're talking about body build, it comes with genetics. It comes with it's not race, but your ethnicity. Like there's a lot of things that are built into us that if you take all of those pieces and put them in, that number is way more varied than if you're 6 foot, you should only weigh 195. That's
what they try to tell you. Yeah. If you're 6 foot, you should weigh, 190. If I looked 190, I would look sick.
I saw a magazine article a while back, and it had 20 women who lined up who were all 200 pounds. And it was the most crazy variety of shape and height and everything because people wear weight differently. Your muscle versus your body fat, your, just where you carry your weight, like all of those things matter. So like, it's ridiculous to put everybody in a category that says this.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to work. You can't hold those type of expectations around that. There's way too many things into it.
Well, doctors know that, but the average Joe doesn't. So I'm glad you clarified that, Jamie. So I can weigh 215 and still be healthy. Okay, I got a little gut. They would, but I'm 50. A lot of people are asking about Annie and will the vet check and see if she's pregnant? We can ask the vet to put a stethoscope up to her, but ultimately to catch Annie, to hold her down, to get the vet over there, I don't see the point. I don't see the reason behind that.
So we're worried about the stress. We're going to ask what she thinks just from as close as we can get and then see how Annie's demeanor is that day, but that's not like top on the list of agenda for things to look at. Top on the list is goats and Annabelle.
Lisa says we just call people like you large boned.
Wait, is that bones. For me?
No, she's talking about me and my weight. I don't mind.
I've been saying that I would have big bones for a really long time because that's what I'm going with.
No, but I think Jamie's right about stress. Why would we want to stress Annie out by having to force her into a corner, catch her, hold her while she's just rearing up and down, just to have her taken in to have an ultrasound, just to tell us what either she is or she isn't. There's nothing different that we'd be doing for Annie. It's not going to change the future. So yeah, she wasn't gentle. She wasn't hand raised. She was raised on a deer farm. So catching Annie is always a struggle. And then having to do anything with her, from shearing to doing her teeth to doing her hooves has always been a struggle, always been a struggle. So I don't know if it's worth it just trying to find out, is she in fact pregnant or is she not? Because it's not going to really matter.
The thing is that y'all don't probably understand is even corralling Annie and getting her in a position where we can put our hands around her is hours to make that happen. And it is not, is very stressful for her. So if she happens to be in the barn and we can do it really quick, simple. But to corral her to where she is just distressed in this heat is never going to be good for any animal, no animal whatsoever.
Yeah, so a lot of people are asking exactly what the vets are going to do. So just an overall farm check, but in particular, they're going to look at Ringo's hooves. Ringo has an infection in his hooves, and Courtney and Ashley were able to trim some stuff back, and they did squeeze some pus from it. They call it pus? Mm-hmm. So he does have some fluids in his front hooves, and so Ringo has been hanging out a lot on his knees. Sweet little guy, walks around on his knees because he doesn't want to put weight on his hooves. So we will have her look at that.
We've been doing treatment on him in the, pretense to hopefully help that.
Oh, it's working.
Well.
It's working.
And I think it's working too, but we still want her to make sure that we know his weight's probably an issue and diet, so we're working on that. But we are just making sure there's nothing else going on that we need to know about. And that's kind of it. It is time for just an all over farm check on everybody. Bucky's and Voodoo are not due for the dentist yet, but they are due for their just wellness check. And just to see everyone that we can in that afternoon.
Yeah, we like the fact that she can come here. It would be really hard to load everybody up and drive them all in. And so we are able to send a lot of pictures, and of course we're blessed that our vet does follow the page, so she keeps up with stuff, and they can tell you a lot over the internet. It's funny the way with COVID and Corona, how much interaction took place between humans and their doctors, and nothing changed. The same way with animals. So you can take a video. They ask you for a video clip or a video, along with things you can add to it, how they're eating, how much they're eating, and there are all kinds of things. And they can give you a really good diagnosis without ever having to meet face to face. And so we have that relationship with our vet, with vets, plural. And they do make house calls. We have to schedule those. They are fairly expensive. So we always make sure that we don't just overdo it.
Yeah.
But on this particular visit, she will look at Annabelle, little Annie Bananas. And I have to stop saying that.
I know, because Annie is Annie Alpaca Annie.
Yeah,
Annie
I've
Bananas.
always called Annie Bananas the alpaca. And sometimes when I say Annie Banana or Annie Bananas, people get all upset and like, who are you talking about? Well, it's obvious if I'm filming Annabelle, then that's Anna Banana. If I'm videoing the alpaca, that's Anna Banana. So anyway, but I get it. I get if you're confused. But no, Annabelle is a cute name for a cute girl who needs to have her tummy looked at. Everything's fine on her. We do have a little tummy issue. We haven't talked a lot about it, have we?
Not, it hasn't come out yet, no.
So we haven't talked a whole lot about her little tummy issues, but I think that she's all clearing up now. But, when she first got here, because of the stress of being, hauled for a 2-hour drive, being loaded, being separated from the rest of the herd into a loading pen, all of those things that happened before she got here were quite stressful. Well, once she got here, having new sounds and new smells and new people who were trying to get her out of the trailer when she was coming at us was pretty stressful on us and on her. So the stress continued. Being put into a stall, a 10 by 10 stall, and having to be forced to stay there for 3 days and 3 nights.
Well, new water.
With heat, new water, different kinds of feeds. It may be the same kind of feed, but it's a different brand of feed.
All of that matters. And they're just like newborns in the human world. Every single thing can shuffle things. And it's unfortunate that it happened during a week where we're hitting 100-degree temperatures with 110, 115 heat index. And, it's very sad for her. But I have watched her over these days do so many really neat personality things, and I can't wait to bring some of those videos to this week. But just having the vet check her and not, for her stomach, but then talk about her vaccinations that she's going to need, and just really give her a once over for us will give us next steps with her as well. We just want to make sure we cover our bases with her.
A lot of people are talking about Jake's videos. Yes, we did give Jake the lead role on the Annabelle rescue and rehoming. Now, she's still an I'm a Survivor animal, so she's still a part of I'm a Survivor. So she's not just for Jake's channel only. So we are the ones who care for her 24/7. So Jake took the lead in finding the particular rescue and bringing her in. But she is still, by all means, an I'm a Survivor rescue.
Well, so here's the thing.
Let's not confuse that.
All animals here this is a team sport. We all pitch in. We all, it takes a village. And I say that so often. Pawpaw's cows, they needed water that day. I noticed those things. Like, it didn't matter because they weren't ours.
But isn't it funny though how many people were upset that you were doing that? There were a lot of, I remember how hateful people were that you were giving Pawpaw's cows water, like he can't water his own cows, and now you're trying to step over Pawpaw.
But that's that's who we are, and that's like I will do anything to help an animal that's truly in need. That doesn't mean like I'm going to go take it from someone or anything like that, but this is who we are. So Annabelle is a survivor, and she lives at I'm a Survivor sanctuary, and none of us, people are like, well, who owns her? No one owns her.
Who owns Copper?
Who owns Lester?
Who owns Beth? So don't you get it, guys? So an animal someone can be reached out to, hey, could you guys take on a pig? Let's talk about Copper, for example. So Jake knows, he works at a place, I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, where, we take on rescue. So we all talk about it. We meet about it. We have a committee here. And if we agree, then we bring the animal in. And that's the same thing it was with little Beth, the little goat. That's the same way it was with Annabelle. I just can't name off the top of my head all the different animals who we've brought in. So it doesn't really matter who drives the trailer over or who makes the first video. They're I'm a Survivor Sanctuary survivors. Yeah. And so that's what Annabelle is. It's called Morrow Hill for a reason. That's sweet. I cannot believe that Bridget, though, on Facebook, Bridget is demanding that I tell her what type of cow breed this is. So I'll say, so she's a mixed breed. I will say the first mix and make Jami say the second one. The easy one is Bremer. Now, a lot of people say Brahma, Bremer, same thing, Brahma, Brahma. Did I spell that correctly? Mm-hmm. So that's the easy one. And that to me, that's the most obvious side of her, because she looks, besides the hump, she doesn't have the hump in her back. Not yet. But she's obvious, a lot of Bremer in her. And then the hardest part of her, the other half, is good luck. Okay, I hope you speak French.
Some French appeal to it, but I Googled it last night and played it like 10 times. It is Charlet.
Charlet.
It does not look like Charlet. It looks like Charlet.
It does look like Charlet. But it's actually pronounced Charlet, and I believe it's sh, like CH. Sh.
I think it's sh.
Charlet. So she is a Bremer and Charlet, and she has been the best partner to Moo. He's not being very sweet to her, or is he? From a lot of the videos that we've made with Moo and Annabelle, Moo seems to be, he wants to make sure that she knows he's in charge.
Moo has taken on top cow.
For the first time ever, Moo is the top cow, and he's really enjoying his role. And so we introduced Annabelle to Moo, and she is right on his heels. Everywhere he goes, she's right with him.
She wants to please him so bad. And it's evolving. We're only a day and a half into this now.
I don't know if this is true, but I've seen it twice now. Some people are calling it's called a read that, it's too small.
A charbray.
So are people really calling it a charbray, or is that a real name? Is that a real mix, or is that someone just making that up? Because people can make up all kinds of crazy names with the whole doodle thing.
Here's what I know she is. She's Annabelle.
She's Annabelle. Hold on, a great Pyrenard. So when we made the video about our puppies over at Longhorn Lester's, the other property, everyone knows that they're a mix. They're half Saint Bernard and Great Pyrenees. They're a half and half mix. And I could not believe how many people were calling them a Great Pyrenard, a Great Pyrenard. And I'm like, Jami, that can't be a real name. I get how it's cute for people to combine things. And I think that the whole doodle thing, or the noodle doodle thing, you know what I'm talking about?
Golden doodle.
Everyone has started the whole doodle thing, where it's cute to take two different breeds and give them a nickname. And so Great Pyrenard.
I like the Great Bernard, or the Great Bernese, the Great Bernese. That's the one that I like. Great Bernese.
The Great Bernese?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of the Great Pyrenard.
The Great Pyrenees.
And I like the Great Bernese. Yeah.
So I don't know, guys. I don't think it really matters. Jami's right. That's Annabelle. That's just Annabelle. And a lot of people can determine her behavior and what may become of her as she gets older based on her breeds. And a lot of folks were telling us the reason that she kept doing her head was the part of the Brimmer in her. That was her Brimmer side showing. Brimmer. And so I don't know. But we're learning.
The thing, though, so I think about that where people are like, their demeanor is X, their demeanor is X. I tend to say that their demeanor is the product of their environment. So whatever situation that she was in, she had to do a lot of defensiveness in it. We're trying to get her to the point to realize that she doesn't have to do that anymore. And I take Pig Trudy as the greatest example of that lesson.
Pug and Beagle is a puggle. Sorry, Deanna, you're funny. Deanna's doing some funny stuff today. A pug and a beagle is a puggle.
So, thinking about Pig Trudy and her demeanor, and everyone told us in the beginning, you're going to regret that. It's going to eat all your animals, and all those other things. And then Pig Trudy turns out to be the greatest protector, the most intuitive.
She is the smartest pig that we've taken care of a lot of pigs here. Everybody from the OG, when she's old Patty, rest her soul, to a number of great pigs. But there's never been anything like Pig Trudy. A feral hog by everyone else's standards, a feral hog. You don't bring a feral hog and put them around goats. You don't bring a feral hog around your chickens. You don't do this. Well, that feral hog out there is the smartest and the brightest, just the most, and the wittiest pig.
Intuitive, everything.
Yes, that we've ever had a chance to get to know and to love. And so you're right, Jami. It doesn't really matter the breed I think it's the environment that you bring them up in. It's like Maggie and how smart she is around the animals. Maggie is a pure boxer. I don't think that boxers are known to be herd dogs. They don't normally herd, H-E-R. They don't help you herd your animals around.
No, but think about what she was raised in.
Maggie knows what she's, whenever she and I go out to do a job, she kind of watches for a minute to learn what I'm doing, and then she does her part. Be it with loading text was the most recent help that she gave us. You all know how we ran techs around and around and around with no success until we let Maggie out.
Listen,
and all of a sudden,
when the animals get out, like the littles get out because we're doing something or because, Jake or Lester didn't close the gate.
That happens sometimes.
Maggie can get them back in. Sometimes before we are even able to go grab the feed, all of a sudden Maggie's got them at the gate already.
And they're in the gate and she stands at the gate barking, like growling, so they can't come back out. So animals are really neat that way. We've been so blessed to have been around some really neat animals.
I just imagine that Annabelle's little headbutting thing is, in the video we saw with her and the other cows and calves that she was in. I mean, she's younger than the rest, certainly smaller than the rest. And she shouldn't have been weaned already, but she was forced weaned because of her circumstance. And so she's probably fighting for food and trying, that whole headbutt thing is to keep people away from her food, other animals away from her food.
She just wants to clear people out. It's the same way the Longhorns do it. Boom, 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 boom. They swing their horns because that's their defense mechanism. That's and it's like a police officer has his badge. That's, hey, I'm a police officer. The Longhorns have their horns, and don't you come close. I should show them what I was gifted. You're gonna freak out about this. I'm going to go get it. Can I go get it?
Go get it.
First of all,
one of the sides, though. You know that, right?
First of all, Jami hates it. She doesn't hate the gift. It was a beautiful gift.
That one. I thought you were going to get what's in the fridge.
Oh, that too. We were gifted some really neat things. And we stopped doing the gifting goodie videos because, guys, we don't feel right. We just don't feel right. With the world that's struggling with gas prices and with the number of people that are out of work, with illnesses going around and the fears of the this and the that, we don't feel right. It doesn't feel good on our hearts to be making a video
like, look
what we got, and oh my God, look what we got. But we do get some really neat stuff on a daily basis. And there was one that I got that was totally threw me off. And Jamie's like, that's not going to go here. That's not going to go here. And I says, Jami, it's going to go right behind our bed. And she goes, it's not going to go in this. No, it's not. It's not going here. You can put it in the barn dominium, but it's not going here. And I says, Jami, we were gifted this. Let me go get it. And then I can't wait to see all of your reactions. Please don't say anything mean, because this was a gift and we have to be thankful for our gifts. All right.
I think it's a thoughtful gift. It's just, hanging it over our bed. I have two reasons why hanging over our bed doesn't feel like me so much. You decorate your home and I mean, okay, so it's pretty.
It came from Skull Bliss, which is a very, very how do you say, like a designer type place. Like if you go to the Galleria, you get different places than if you go to the flea market. So this is really awesome. I don't think you can see the full magnitude of this thing. Jami thinks it's too blingy. She thinks it would be fine if it were just a Longhorn, but all of the stuff, the Dremel.
Yeah, but okay, so it's dipped in gold, like not real gold paint, but like it's kind of
Why is everyone laughing?
It's kind of King Tuttish.
Why is everyone laughing?
Like,
Stop laughing. Stop laughing. Why are there so many laughy faces, Jami? What are y'all laughing about?
But over my bed, I'm terrified that's gonna fall on my face and I'm gonna die from it in the middle of the night somehow, because I don't know. We have cats, we have all kinds of things.
Why is Facebook laughing?
Somebody says, Jami, scoot over so we can see it. Well, by all means, here you go.
So this is a real cow skull. It's a real Longhorn. It's very heavy, but
which is why I don't want it to fall on my face in the middle of the night.
Show them the designer part. Show them what they've done.
It's really pretty. So they've taken a Dremel and carved all this out, and it's.
Why are you all laughing? I wouldn't put that by my bed either. Okay, could we get some guys' opinions here? Fine, ladies. I've been outvoted by the ladies. I get it, but you're ladies. You want to have pretty stuff behind your bed.
No,
Let's try
I think
something
it is
lacy.
pretty. I think it is pretty, and it doesn't mean it can't go in the bedroom. But above my head just feels like I'm asking. Have you not seen Final Destination? Because that's what I feel like I'm setting myself up for.
Well, I think it's gorgeous, and I appreciate the gift. Unfortunately, there was no name attached to it, so we can't say who sent it. But I think this was really thoughtful. I think the whole Longhorn Lester thing is what prompted it.
Yeah.
So I think it's beautiful. I know this was not cheap. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to keep arguing and keep fighting to see if I can eventually get it over our bed, because I think that this will just do wonders for our love life.
Because you want to kill me with it?
Like, no. Okay. Never mind. Anyway, that's awesome. Let me show you what else we got.
Remember that one time when I was like, yeah, we're all Longhorn all the time? We're all Longhorn all the time. All the time. No, I do think it's beautiful. I think it's a really thoughtful gift. I think it's neat. I think that somebody took a lot of time into that, and it's just not something I would have went and purchased. It's a little blingy for my style. I'm a pretty simple kind of woman. But over my bed feels like I'm asking to be murdered.
This is not that blingy.
No,
I love this. This is a cake.
I can't believe we haven't eaten it yet. That's what I'm so sad
We're waiting for the boys. Lex and Ellie will both be here in a little while, and we're saving it for the boys. This is a cake. And I'm sure, it's a Longhorn Lester cake. Now, it's not an actual Longhorn. It's a kind of more of a buffalo type thing.
Yeah, but it's close. It looks cute.
It's very, I just broke a piece off, so guess I'm cheating. But isn't that cute? And we were sent this, and I think it's gorgeous.
I can't wait to.
We're going to cut open. I wonder if it's chocolate.
I don't know.
How would you ever know until you cut into it?
You aren't going to know.
So it's a little. I don't know why everyone's putting hearts on this and they're putting laughy faces at my cow skull.
Because it's cute.
What about the cow skull was really nice. There was no hearts. There were all laughy faces. And I don't understand what's so laughable about the cow skull.
They think you're just trying to kill me.
I'm going to bring it back and see if we get some hearts. All right, I'm ready for the hearts. We're all the love. Time to show some love. Let's try to see some love this time. Look, it's putting its horn around Jami. Jami, there's a bunch of laughy faces again.
It's going to Longhorn, Lester's. It's where it belongs. You know it.
All right, there's a couple of hearts. Thank you.
There's a lot of hearts.
Oh, there comes a lot of hearts on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Facebook, you're really pushing your limits. You're really pushing your limits.
Did you see that? He tried to take me out right there. Right there. He didn't even realize that. He's all like, that's how it's going to be.
True.
You have no idea how you almost took me out of the picture right there.
We could attach some tortillas to it.
We can sort that out.
By the way, we got into a lot of trouble about that. That.
People did not see the humor in it the way that we saw the humor.
We're going to do it right now. Except we're going to do it right now.
No, we are not.
Guys, we got into so much trouble. But here's the thing. No one cared that she did it to me. People freaked out that I did it back to her.
No, they did care. I got nasty messages too. I got called Amber and all kinds of things. And I am not. No, it's not. It was a fun game that we played. It was for entertainment only. That is not really how we solve our conflicts around here.
It was a joke.
But
y'all.
Holy moly, you would have thought that we were fist fighting on camera.
No, we don't fight. We never fight. Jami and I will have a typical argument that some people argue about. The most recent argument that we had, she really angered me when she called me the wrong guy's name. Oh, it bothered me. You don't know how mad I got. She called me the wrong guy's name. She called me Max.
That's not true.
I will tell the story, baby girl. I said, Jami, I don't think these batteries are any good. The Xbox controller wasn't working. And she goes, they should be good for 4 to 5 years, Max. And I'm like, Max? Why don't you call me Max? My name's Lester. And she goes, no, they should be good between 4 to 5 years, Max. And I'm like, stop calling me Max. And that really bothered me. But I never pulled my hands up at her. We don't fight that way. She calls me the wrong guy's name. Fine. She calls me the wrong guy's name. I don't think I've ever called her the wrong name, but it is what it is, Jami.
No, that's why you go with baby all the time. Because that way you
Sweetie,
can't mess it up.
Baby, you can't mess anything up. Hey, sweets. Okay, here's how the game goes. Guys, we did not invent this. All we were doing was reenacting a really funny TikTok. We don't watch TikTok, but people send them to us. And they says, we would love to see you and Lester do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So what we do is you take a drink of water, but you don't swallow it. You have
to swallow that one. I need an actual drink.
So you have to hold the water in your mouth.
I can't believe we're going to do this right now.
We're going to do this right now. So we take the drink of water and we hold it in our mouth with your cheeks got to be full of water. You can't swallow and you can't spit it out. That's the hard part. And then you take turns popping each other. Guys, the tortilla does not hurt.
But it makes a lot of noise for the record.
There's a poppy sound. It pops. And so you may think it hurts, but it doesn't hurt. So no one's hurting each other. And Jami and I were playing this game on, was that a reel?
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of people watched that video. Like it was like a 1 million person video. Man, but we got a backlashing for that. We got a backlashing. And I think it was too timely to the whole Amber Heard thing. I think the timing of it was wrong.
We'll probably get banned on both of these platforms now.
Yeah,
for violence.
We're not being violent. You hear me? Jami loves me. I love her. We have never, ever, ever done anything violent towards each other.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
I never would either.
So you ready to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you really want to play? Because I'll be happy to let you do it to me only.
I'll play.
Because that's the whole thing. She doesn't have... I'm not going to laugh, but she laughs by hitting me.
I can't stop laughing.
All right, here it goes. It's going to be a mouthful of water that I cannot swallow.
This is going to be the best thing ever. Lester can't talk with a mouthful of water. It's be the longest time period ever that you've ever heard him be silent.
Okay, that's all
I'm
we're
way
doing.
too good at this.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about that.
There is something funny about it.
Well, not as
There's
far. I'm
nothing
sorry.
mean about it.
There's nothing mean about
No.
it. We were playing. Neither one of us have welts on our
No,
faces. We're
but-
not bruised and
Oh my
bashed.
God, people were like losing it though. Like it's like I don't find anything funny about laying your hands on each other. My hand didn't touch him, I promise. Only my tortilla.
Only
did.
her tortilla.
But
About 4 times. One time she went double on me. Pow, pow.
it was funny. It was fun for us, and we shared a video. And you know what? Like for those people, I realized. Listen, I am a survivor of domestic abuse, so I understand the sensitivity around it and about how if you've never been in a relationship that you have enough trust in your partner to do something that could be a trigger moment. And we certainly don't teach our kids to hit or any type of violence whatsoever. There's no solution with any of that. But for us, for whatever reason, that dumb thing was so funny that I couldn't make it past 2 last time. And it was fun, and we wanted to share it.
We thought it was funny and we enjoyed that moment and we laughed ourselves. We made ourselves laugh. And that was, I guess, the whole thing about it, that
Yeah.
we had fun with it. And so I guess we are upset. We're sorry if we triggered something
Yes.
inside of you, but there's no need to get on to us about it because we are completely content in our relationship in the way that we can find ways to laugh about stuff. So thank you for those that got the humor and got the laugh out of it. That's all it was supposed to be.
Yes.
All right, so I think we've gone around the entire farm.
No, puppies. We haven't truly
Puppies.
touched on puppies yet. That's the last piece that was on my list.
So if you want to start, you can, but I do have one thing that I have to say about the puppies.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that Maggie and the puppies have not intermingled, and they will not. It was important to us that we let the puppies learn that they are the caretakers of Longhorn Lesters. We never wanted to confuse them to make them think that, well, whenever Maggie and Trixie and Ritzy all show up, then all of a sudden they got to take a back seat to the bigger dogs. We didn't want that to happen.
No.
So now we stopped taking the dogs from I'm a Survivor over to Longhorn Lesters. Instead, Longhorn Lesters, you have, Fiona and what's her official name? We just have gone back and forth. She wanted to call her Gertrude, and I just kind of says, let's just call her Millie, and it's so cute. And then when you all heard Jami suggest Gertrude, all of a sudden you're like, Lester, she said Gertrude, so Gertrude it is. But to me, it was just, I don't know. I just have a thing that
Millie was fun. So Millie actually was one of the choices as well. So we have Millie and Fiona, and they are adorable and very loving. Look, Maggie is at our feet right now. We said another dog's
Maggie's
name,
like,
and she's
"What?
like,
What?
What? I
Maggie,
didn't even know.
baby."
I know I've been smelling you all cheating on me, but I didn't know it was this intense.
Yeah.
Then like their name suited them very well, and they're adorable and sweet. And I have found myself on the garage floor more than I'd like to admit over the past week. I've not made a video fully about them yet, but I'm working on one.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, it turns
So
out.
her official name is Mildred, which Jami likes. I don't want to say old people names, but an older generation
Yeah,
names.
like old names.
They're generational names. They really are. And so a lot of folks back from the older generations, you had your Gertrudes, your Mildreds, your names, some more that you told me about. There were a lot that Jami had suggested.
I had Ethel,
Ethel.
Frida, just older names.
And so I was insistent that that one had to be named Fiona, just because I thought she had kind of a Fiona ogre type look to her. So Fiona was never in question. It was Fiona. Fiona it is. But the other one, we did have some talking back and forth and try to find out which of those names fit her, which one fit her. And by the time we made it back to Longhorn Lester's on the night that we picked them up, it was just kind of obvious that she was more of a Mildred or Millie. And so it wasn't because we were naming her after someone else's farm animal or anything else. It was just Millie kind of fit her, Mildred, I thought, and Jami agreed. And so we went ahead and went with Millie. We call her Millie. And so they will always be the caretakers of Longhorn Lester's. And they will not ever come over here to I'm a Survivor because we don't want to confuse the dogs that we have here.
No,
and
but
so,
they do go on their first field trip tomorrow to the vet's office.
Monday, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a vet visit tomorrow. And that'll be exciting to see everything. There's a couple of small things that we want to have checked out.
Yeah.
But that will be tomorrow. So we have a lot with the vet this week.
Yeah. There's a lot
So-
going on, and I know we say that often, but this is a pretty high profile time all around for both farms and for all of the animals. There's not really a like lull. I guess the geese are having a lull. They're back at the pond. That's
Yeah.
really about it.
Jackie says that Millie seems to be so sweet and meek. And could you describe their differences real fast? Because they do have very different personality types.
So Millie is actually the runt.
She was the runt in the litter. Yeah.
She probably only weighs 2/3 of what Fiona does. But
Fiona's an ogre. She's a big ogre. When we
but
got
Fiona's name fits her in that style because she is just big and klutzy and but dominant at the same time. And she's more outgoing than Millie is.
Millie is a little bit, yeah, I think because she was the runt, she was
Yeah.
probably picked on. There was a litter of 6. By the time we got there, there were 4 remaining. So we had our pick out of the 4. And just by seeing Fiona and how big she was, just her face was big. And we'd seen tons of pictures and videos. And so I'd already picked out that I really wanted that one. Jami had a choice out of the other 3 to be quote unquote hers, even though you all know Jami didn't really want one at all because she couldn't seem to, she did not want to rebound off of her lost Sookie.
Yeah.
So, but we did want 2. We wanted them to have a companion in each other because we know that we can't be there all the time, but we want all the animals to have somebody when we're not, that they have each other to, bounce off and play with and everything else. So Fiona does look more like the Saint Bernard. I would agree. I have seen Saint Bernards. So just so you all know, here in this part of Texas, you don't see a whole lot of shaggy, furry dogs. You don't have them a lot around here because of the heat and the humidity. So that's what I'm guessing, people don't have them.
Probably
so it's
not.
very
Weather,
rare to see a big, shaggy type dog.
It's hard on them.
It's hard on them. So we don't see a lot of dogs like the Great Pyrenees or the Saint Bernards here. I've never in my life seen a Great Pyrenees. I've never seen one. I see them all the time.
I would say I think we see them on posts, but never in real life.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys, you send us a lot of posts and videos where I see them. So I've seen them. I know what they look like, but I've never seen one anywhere in real life around here. And I don't know if it's because they cost a lot or because it's just too hot for them here. So we took a chance on rescuing these. Well, getting these from a rescue. And so, do you still call that a rescue? When you home an animal from a rescue, is that still part of a rescue?
That's a very deep question.
That's a deep question. But we're excited to get the best of both breeds into one, hopefully, and make them where they can become at least lots of movement around Longhorn Leicesters. Make some noise. I don't mind if they bark. A lot of folks have said you should train them not to bark. It's going to drive the neighbors crazy. And actually, I want a dog that will bark. Our neighbors, I want my neighbors to learn. Now, of course, when we say neighbors, they're half a mile away on each side. But I still want the neighbors to know if there's barking going on, then they should probably give us a call or let us, have a look on the camera anyway. So we want dogs that will bark, especially if they're learning to bark to protect, the area. And so, we do have 2 amazing puppies. They're still puppies. They're 8 weeks old. I guess it'll be 9 weeks today. Today they're 9 weeks old. They're 9 weeks old today. And so we're excited about them. But no, the 2 farm dogs, the 2 farms dogs have not and will not ever get a chance to. Someone says, yes, that's still called a rescue. So if you go and you get a dog that has been rescued from a rescuer,
I think that I
you
think
still
you're part
call
of
it a
that.
rescue.
Yeah, because you're a rescue owner. You instead of adopting
so we're a rescue
somewhere
owner.
else, or I think the phrase was like adopt, don't shop. And I think that's what that's
we didn't shop. We adopted, not shopped. But I will say this, I have not taken the puppies around the animals yet. We want to make sure we get our vet appointment done and then whatever else we need to have looked at, have done. So the puppies have stayed pretty much in the shop and then around the little garden, Jami's garden area. We have a little swimming pool that we keep full of water, a little kiddie pool. And it's real cute what the puppies do. They actually have learned how to keep themselves cooled off. They will walk and they'll get into the water and then get right out into the concrete floor and lay flat. So their little bodies are laying on the concrete, which has been cooled off by the water. Or Jami witnessed Millie doing something real smart. What'd you watch her do? This is really cute.
That's what she was doing, was digging. She went into the pool and splashed it up onto the concrete so that the concrete would be cool while she laid down instead of getting all the way in the pool.
So they're inside the shop, so they're not out in the sun. We do leave the garage door cracked open about a foot or so they can go in and out. They are using the restroom out in the grass. They're not using the restroom inside the shop, but they are sleeping inside the shop. We did have some little doggy mats we laid down. We got lots of doggy toys, and we're over there twice a day. I mean, we're over there twice a day.
For several hours. It's not like we pop in. No, we're there for several hours. The other thing is we have cameras on them like they're our newborn babies. So we are seriously checking in on them all the time. We can talk through those cameras to them. So that's pretty special as well. But they're doing well. They have each other. And it's similar to, this is the way I take it. A lot of people saying they can't be there alone. They can't be there alone. Well, there are a lot of people who leave their puppies in crates while they go to work and in kennels and things like that alone. So they have a perimeter that they are, using, and we're watching them nonstop. I probably have more eyes on them than we have had on any other animal.
All cameras do face right around that spot, so they move around quite a bit. They're very active at night. As a matter of fact, Jami's phone she didn't turn off her notifications, so she wants to be notified when there's movement. And Jami's getting like 80 notifications a night from different cameras and it's always one of the dogs. They move around and around and around and around. They play at night and they play all over the place. I will say this, they are puppies, so they do chew. They have already chewed our banana plant. They have chewed on Jami's tomatoes. They have chewed on all of the garden things that hang out of the garden.
Oh, yeah,
they've got up inside of the garden to lay in the dirt. Y'all thought I was going to be the downfall of her garden. You guys thought that it was going to be Lester would be the downfall of Jami's garden because I pulled out a few cucumbers to make some room for growth. And it's not Lester after all. It's those darn puppies are going to be the downfall of the garden. And someone says, why don't you shave them? And we actually looked into that, but we were told it was not a wise choice because in some form or fashion, their bodies have been conditioned to where their hair actually helps keep them cool.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how to describe that one because it seems totally backwards to me. But I said we should shave them. Jami looked into it and talked to several people, and we were told you don't do that.
Yeah.
To an animal that's supposed to have hair, you have to allow it the hair. So
things are going well though, and we have a lot going on this week that is going to be brought to you in videos from this weekend, but also upcoming days as well for all the events that are going to happen too. So
Marcia, speak for yourself. She goes, that cow skull over the bed would not be romantic to me at all. I find something not maybe romantic. I don't think that was the right word choice. I never said romantic. I find the fact of having a huge longhorn with these massive horns and this big head over your bed. What?
I say he wants to kill me.
It's nothing to do with that at all. It just feels kind of like maybe the word might be machismo. I might be guilty of having just some masculinity flowing around the bedroom. And that makes me feel kind of romantic.
Meanwhile, he sleeps on the couch.
Only until my knee starts hurting. All right, Jami. I sleep on the couch. I'm not punished off to the couch. I sleep there by accidentally. I fall asleep there. And I don't think I'm the only guy. I bet a lot of you ladies and men find yourself sometimes dozing off on the couch and you go to bed when you wake up. I think that happens a lot. Anyway, Jami, I'm going to ask one question of you. I'm asking this on behalf of Brenda. Are you ever going to do Timeout Tuesdays again? How about Lunch with Lester? What's happening to you guys? Guys, life is happening on my end. I can't speak for Jami, but on my end, it's just a lot going on. I made the admission. I admitted that maybe we bit off a little bit more than what we can chew with not only having two properties, but having animals at two properties, which require feed and upkeep at two properties. And now we have puppies over there. We have puppies. So I'm going and going and going a lot. And at noon on Friday, I know that was a thing that I was enjoying doing, but that was when life was a lot slower.
I would say that was one property. I also say though that it's the heat of the day at that point in time, and that's usually the time that you're driving from one to the other.
Yep.
And it's very challenging at that time. So for me, Timeout Tuesday is
No, Dana, I do not have big brass bull balls hanging from my truck. I know what she's talking about though. However, I did see on the internet you can order a doorknob. I'm sorry, a knocker. You know how you knock on your door? Like, what do you call that? They have the little cute little knockers where you knock on your door. You can get one in the shape of a bull, and you can only imagine what you have to grab onto to knock. I'm just saying, I don't know why this stuff pops up on the internet for me. I don't know where this stuff comes from because I would never search it out. Anywho, carry on, Jami.
I fully intend to do Timeout Tuesday. I didn't last week because I was sick. So I am feeling much better now and fully intend to do it this week. And if I can't for some reason in the future, I will try to make a post about it. But this Tuesday, we'll be back at 6 p.m. for Timeout Tuesday. Someone sent me a cocktail book and full of recipes, so I'm gonna try a few of those.
I still think you should make it 7 o'clock.
So you think I should?
Let's have a vote. Let's have a vote.
We can push it to 7.
Listen, here's why I say 7
I know
because
it's
7
summer.
o'clock is whenever I start the chores, whenever I start the outside chores.
Oh, this is about you.
What I was saying is, it would give you a chance to have the house quiet.
You're right.
And you'd have the house free. And while I'm out there occupied,
there are a lot of people that say do it at 7. Okay, 7 Central.
7 o'clock.
I actually believe that you're right, though. I wasn't trying to fully be mean there. What 7 is actually better for us because that does give me time
in between work 7s.
And here to get things going. And in the summertime, 7 feels more right. 6 p.m. in the winter feels like my day has already had plenty of time because it's dark outside and that's where we're at. So 7 o'clock is the new Timeout Tuesday time.
Whoa, I won that one. Didn't have to try very hard. They also asked about cooking with Jake, and that's on Jake. I have no idea about what's going on with all of the cooking with Jake. What was they called on that? Prison food? They called that something. Baking with Jake.
I think that was a wintertime thing too. So think about this. We really are starting chores till 7 p.m. at night. And that's because it is hot. The other day it was 7:30 p.m. and it was still 98 degrees here.
Yeah, it's still hot. So, all right, well, that's all I have. The ostriches are doing great. The cows are doing good at both properties. There'll be a lot of videos coming up, guys. I'm so sorry if that bores you, but there'll be a lot of videos because there's a lot of content. And we're very blessed, Jami, to have 11,000 people watching us right now. Who does that? Not us. Not us, because we ain't worthy of 11,000 people.
We're really boring. I don't know.
I think maybe it was the tortilla slap.
Oh, that's what brought everybody.
Why don't we send them off with one more good tortilla slap, Jami? You get me good. Get me good. Just get me good.
Put some more in your mouth.
I'm getting you too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm.
Whoops.
Cold.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it in any longer.
All right.
We'll end it with that one right there. I got her, guys. I got her good. Thank y'all for watching. I will end the one over here on YouTube, and then we're gonna say bye to Facebook as well.